All right, guys. Apparently, Cobra Tate, the world's worst alpha male YouTuber, has been arrested. Okay. Now, to be absolutely honest with you, I think it makes him the world's best alpha male for getting arrested because he was probably doing something super based and super high value male oriented. So let's see what ends up happening here. Of course, this video is by, I don't want to say Tamimi. Am I supposed to say it like that? Very uber elite. Let's get going.
This might just be one of the most dangerous alpha males on the internet.
I understand that I am too brilliant a man.
Yeah.
Too perfect in every single metric. Too big, too strong, too smart. I am a gift to females created by the one above.
I mean, how do you argue with that logic, to be honest with you? Like, how do you argue with it?
It doesn't matter if a man slept with 20 girls or 200 girls. He is still the man. If a woman slept with 200 men, she is worth less.
Andrew Tate, a former boxer, is now someone who considers himself as an elite, a high-value male with lots of money, status, and women. On top of having such a prestigious lifestyle, Tate loves to share his opinions and views on various podcasts that are labeled as high-value male or alpha male.
How can I not be so stupid and keep my husband? I want to keep him happy, and I think all the women listening too, they want to know the secret.
So every single thing we do is status driven to some degree.
It's true.
Okay.
Meaning the female we are with has to add status to our lives in some form. That's why we like beautiful women, right? But a beautiful woman who doesn't behave and doesn't obey isn't really much status.
Yep. I guess fundamentally kind of, but like, for instance, like my wife, first of all, is very beautiful. I love my wife a lot, but she adds value to my life because she's like smart and she keeps me on a good track and she keeps me grounded and she's intelligent and helps me in like these different ways. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're missing that. Like, what about that context? You know what I mean? Where's that logic, sir? Does it exist? Probably not. I really don't know though. I mean, what the fuck do I know, you know? But yeah, fundamentally, the problem is that the only type of women that like he talks about are women that like he doesn't have value. He doesn't respect women in a way where like a woman that provides something that's other than arm candy would be a positive thing to him. So
when we're looking for status, we want a beautiful woman who is compliant because it's unique.
Hold on though, have you had a serious relationship?
I have many concurrent serious relationships as we speak.
Are you poly?
No, because that means they can talk to other dudes. Disgusting. Yeah.
After gaining traction on these websites, he has created multiple online businesses, two of the biggest being Hustlers University and The War Room. But when you
are you telling me that he sells BS advice to men, like to desperate men who can't get any girls? Oh my God, it must be working.
In the lines of these websites, you'll notice something very disturbing. Months after gaining some backlash over this website and Tate's views in general, he has been arrested under the guise of trafficking and is under investigation.
Well, that's incredible. What a high-value man.
Listen, I may be a gangster, and they may be the police. But if they're the top-level police and I'm the top-level G, we're friends.
Wow.
So a few months ago, I made a video discussing alpha male podcasts, and I discussed alpha males in general. One of the people that I mentioned in that video goes by the name of Andrew Tate. Yes, the guy that looks like a living IMVU character.
If you think you're going to find a man with options who's going to genuinely never ever consider those options ever, then he's just a low-value dude. That's the reality of the game. The reality of the game is if the guy has choices, he's going to consider those choices.
You see, Andrew Tate is...
I guess, but like also, what happened to like loyalty? This is what I don't like about these high-value men, like nonsensical bullshits, because they don't promote like loyalty in any capacity, and that's a huge problem to me because like men should be loyal people. Like that's like my primary thing is men should be loyal. If you make a commitment, you should stick to it. It doesn't mean you can't get ever divorced if something doesn't work out, but like you should be able to commit to like relationships, you know what I mean? But apparently that's not something that's valued in the pogger sphere, the manosphere, the cool guy area. Also, I need to get this up here, but it's fine.
Isn't just your regular run-of-the-mill alpha male. He's like the alpha of alpha males. For some reason, other high-value podcasts, like the Fresh and Fit podcast, have hosts that treat this guy like he is a literal god. Now this guy has so many ridiculous points that I genuinely thought he was a troll at first.
I find myself super funny. I find myself super funny.
But no, he believes a lot of what he's saying.
You gotta be your own biggest fan, all right? Because no one else will sometimes, you know? So I find myself very funny too.
least enough to make an entire business off of it. And no, I don't mean just talking through a podcast mic, sharing your opinions about things. I mean a literal business.
Yeah, so I'll quickly explain the difference between the two. Very quickly. If you're sitting here and you just want money, and that's all you care about, then you can join Hustlers University. Create Hustlers University is $50. Anybody can join, and we teach 18 modern wealth creation methods. The war room is everything outside of money.
Are you serious?
And what will happen once you have money is you realize that it's all the things outside of money that are actually more important. Most of you want money because you want power. That's what you really want. You don't give a shit about expensive things, but you want to feel and look powerful. And you'll realize if you're a nerd.
I don't care about feeling or looking powerful at all, to be honest with you. I just want money because I want to live comfortably. I mean, like, let's be honest. If I didn't have to work, I probably just wouldn't work. I mean, like, also, you know what else I want money for? I want to give back to people. Like, you know, like my fucking... This is so sad. I want to talk about that. So, like, my uncle passed away. My uncle was a really good guy. He was like a father to me. He passed away to COVID. It's unfortunate. It's actually one of the parts that feels like I feel somewhat guilty about, because like I got popular because of COVID and because of the lockdowns. People were home, they were consuming content more, and I had like a pretty rational and reasonable voice, and people really identified with that. And so like, but my uncle died to COVID, so it's like one of those sad things where like I would give it up just for my uncle to not have passed. But like he worked really hard in his life, and everybody makes mistakes, but like he worked 2 jobs. He worked like 80 hours a week, unironically, and he was in his 60s. I think he was 62. Might have passed before his 60s second birthday. And like him and my aunt, I'm not gonna say her name, but my aunt, they raised me a lot. They had like a very positive impact. And my aunt thinks I'm a little silly. I've had like a rough life, like not a rough life, but like I've made some mistakes too. Like I fucking like dropped out of high school and stuff. So, you know, but she's always taking care of me, and my uncle's always taking care of me and stuff. And so it'd be nice to give back to the people who took care of me when I was a kid, you know? So that's a big motivator for me, is to be comfortable and be able to take care of the people around me, because my uncle passed away, and like, you know, obviously that hurts financially and stuff, and I'd like to be able to be in a situation where I can change that, and I can make a positive, you know, difference. So that would be cool. So yeah, that would be cool.
And you get rich. And you're not powerful. You're just a raw retard.
Andrew Tate has a website called The War Room. The War Room is the greatest global network which exists on planet Earth. The War Room is a global organization with members, bases, and influence in over 70 countries. Our network contains a varied expertise, which allows us to exert influence globally. Every member has either achieved or is working towards the ultimate goal of all intelligent men, freedom in a world of slavery. There's something really disturbing that a lot of you actually caught on to in the comments. A lot of you pointed out that some of the business tactics that Andrew Tate has been promoting over on his website called The War Room, and also Hustlers University 2.0, it's a little concerning. Oh my goodness, Chester has made an appearance on the screen. It's been a while. You haven't come over here recently. I know why. It's because I'm usually filming when your father's home. I'm usually... No. Oh.
What's happening right
No, he's not actually.
It was at this moment that she knew. She fucked up.
Here's a clip from my previous video as a huge highlight of the concerning parts of this website. When I began recording this video, I was planning on sitting here cracking a few jokes about this cringy alpha male content, but I guess that came back to bite me in the ass, because this is where everything takes a really unexpected turn. While I was looking into this, a YouTuber named Danny Gonzalez made a video pointing out some very questionable paragraphs written on the War Room's website. It raised a few eyebrows for sure, but other than what he mentioned here, nothing else really became of it from what I could see. I went to the website to find it, and as many could expect, the paragraph was gone. It was just a big empty space underneath this PhD program page. But
Wait, so Danny Gonzalez called this guy out so hard that the alpha male himself removed something from it. Wow, what kind of an alpha male are you, bro? You gotta stick to your guns. You can never apologize, or you can never say sorry. You can never admit in any capacity wrongdoing. And by removing that, to me, that's admitting wrongdoing, brother. You are a suspicious character from the popular hit video game Among Us, and nothing will ever be able to change that. What kind of an alpha male is the imposter? You know what I mean? Like, you can't be an imposter. An imposter alpha male. It's beta male.
But I don't give up that easily. I went to an archiving website where a copy of the webpage was saved before this was deleted. It seems like Mr. Tate didn't want the attention on this part of his luxurious womanizing lifestyle. Unfortunately, things get much worse than what was showed in Danny Gonzalez's video. I'm so glad he pointed this out though, because this seriously needs to be talked about. There's lots of photos that I'll be blurring out here because they'll get my video age restricted, but let's read the text, shall we? Why am I an expert on all male to female interactions? I've been running a webcam studio for nearly a decade. I've had over 75 5 girls work for me, and my business model is different than 99% of webcam studio owners. Over 50% of my employees were actually my girlfriend at the time, and of all my girlfriends, none were in the adult entertainment industry before they met me. My job was to get women to fall in.
Wow, this is actually horrible. Okay.
Love with me. Literally, that was my job. My job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me to where she'd do anything I say, and then get her to go on a webcam so we could become rich together. Whether you agree or disagree with what I did with their loyalty, submission, and love for me doesn't matter. You cannot reject the results. And the results are simple. My girlfriends would do more for me than 99.9% of men's wives would do for them. This is how I came up with what is now the PhD system. I learned the most time-efficient way to meet girls, get them through the dating process, get them to bed, test if they're good or not, and begin the process of them falling deeper and deeper into love. That is my skill, to extremely efficiently get women in love with me. That's it. And no one on the internet is teaching this. No one. Final thoughts. I will be teaching you every step to building a girl who is submissive, loyal, and in love with you. From your first message to testing if you want to keep her as long as you want the relationship to go on, I am the most capable man in the world to teach you this power, and I am 100% confident in my program. I have a warning. There's responsibility when you have someone completely loyal to you. I've had some girls for over a decade. When someone gives themselves to you, absolutely, their life path is in your hands. But this gets way worse because there is another page that was captured on the archiving website. Let it be known that these paragraphs.
Wow. So to me, I mean, that sounds incredibly predatory. I mean, so he would find girls and get them to fall. He'd get them to fall in love with them, and then they would do this for him. No, I mean, there has to be something else there. Why would they? This doesn't make any sense to me. That sounds like actually predatory behavior. I think the worst part about this too, if you notice a lot of these predators, like Glenn and Cameron, they brag about their predatory behavior. Like originally, they think it's funny. They think it's good. They're like, look at me, I'm such an alpha male for being like a predator in some capacity. Like they legitimately think this. It's fucking nuts. That's horrible. Jesus Christ.
Were up a month ago. These were freshly removed from the website. The paragraphs here essentially explain how Andrew will teach you how to recruit women to make an OnlyFans business. So not only is he doing this shit, he's creating a bunch of Andrew Tate knockoffs that are doing the same exact thing as him. How is this even legal? There is a part that I took out of this video because I was not confident enough to make the claim that it is. Would this count as trafficking? This sounds very, very cult-like at the minimum, but I'm telling you today that I
mean, you could honestly make a reasonable argument that it might be grooming. I mean, you know, the overwhelming majority of times somebody's groomed, it's like at a child. But I mean, you know, being in some kind of like a state, I guess you'd say, like in like a, I don't know. But it's just like the process it's like a deep process of manipulating somebody for sexual abuse. This sounds like you could probably categorize this as such. That's fucking crazy, dude. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? This is nuts.
am confident enough to tell you that I fully believe that this is trafficking. And the reason why I am more confident in telling you that now compared to last time is because Andrew Tate has recently been arrested for human trafficking. Andrew Tate has been arrested as part of a human trafficking investigation. The former kickboxer's home in Romania was raided after police received reports of an American woman being held there against her will. A Romanian newspaper Tate has been arrested as part of a human trafficking investigation.
Okay.
The former kickboxer's home in Romania was raided after police received reports of an American woman being held there against her will. A Romanian newspaper reported that the police found both the American woman and a Romanian woman in the building during the raid. According to a report on the Daily Beast, the vocal promoting Tate cultivated a social media image as a wealthy cigar-smoking playboy. But Tate's treatment of women had an ugly side, the report states. In 2016, he was booted off the British version of Big Brother over a video of him hitting a woman with a belt. This March,
Jesus.
Britain's Daily Mirror tabloid profiled him and his brother Tristan Tate and their Romania-based business, which used webcam models to trick men into sending the brothers tens of thousands of dollars. In one video on his YouTube channel, Andrew Tate said 40% of the reason—
It's crazy because like this would be considered a new kind of like human trafficking. Like it's not the traditional type anymore. It's like it's a new kind. It's a new blend. It's a new breed of trafficking where it's online. And so it gets more difficult to detect. I wonder how they even detected it in the first place. And then also, like, this is insane to me. This is nuts. Like, how did they even find out about it? Like, how did they get him on that, you know? That's crazy, man. It's not new. It feels like when I say new way, I mean like I guess from like a traditional sense. Like usually trafficking is like on the street, you know, et cetera, et cetera. This is like on the internet. It's nuts.
The reason he moved to Romania was because Romanian police were less likely to pursue sexual assault allegations.
Wow.
This is probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania, because in Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flies. If you go to the police and say, back in 1988, so we should have done something about it then. If you go to the police and say, yes, you say, okay, if you got physical evidence, okay, so CCTV proof, where did it happen? Okay, let's go interview him right now. And if it wasn't really, I was like, oh, we went to the club, we got drunk, she agreed to go back to my house, sorry, and we carried on. And then we had sex, she didn't say anything wrong, and then she texted me afterwards, I didn't text back, and now she's saying, the police were like, okay, she's an idiot, bye.
Wow, Romania sounds like an abysmally garbage dog shit country. Okay, great. So he goes to he lives in Romania. Or moved to Romania because it's easy to rape women. Incredible. Wow, what a fucking scumbag.
No, not the West. In the West, you can tell them that exact story. You're in the West. People say, why do you live in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're racist. I say, no, I'm not fucking racist. But I like the idea of being able to just say, to do what I want. I like being free. And if you're a man living in England or Germany or America or any of the Western world right now, you've decided to live in a country where any woman, any ex, any fucking bitch who works at Greg's who you bought pasty from, at some point in the future can destroy your life. This Me Too era bullshit has not protected you.
I mean, listen, there are aspects of, like, there are definitely instances of people weaponizing the Me Too movement, right? It happens. We see it, and it's not good. Like, Amber Heard seems to be one of them. But that doesn't mean that every allegation is fake. Fundamentally, like, the reason that movement came out is because there was a huge issue with women being taken advantage of. So, what the fuck is this guy on about? I mean, this is crazy, dude. Like, he just lives in, it sounds like he just lives in these countries so that he can sexually assault women and get away with it. This guy's actually a predator. Holy shit. Like, this is horrible. This is horrific. This is insane.
It's just destroying the safety of men.
Shortly after the Harvey Weinstein...
Papa God, not to be rude or disrespectful, can you explain to me how them is trafficked? How they're being trafficked? So I'm assuming that it's similar to any other trafficking network, the only difference being that it's done online instead of forcing somebody into prostitution. So they'll generally pick up girls, they'll get them into an isolated situation. I don't know the details, but if they're going for trafficking, I imagine he's not making them fall in love with him. He's getting them into isolated scenarios where they have no other friends or family that are able to help them, and then they put them in a scenario, like they make them do cam work and stuff like that. So I don't know the specifics on how they're being trafficked. But that would be my honest best bet, is that's probably what's happening.
Revelations, Tate tweeted, "If you put yourself in a position to be ARD, you must bear some responsibility."
Wow, what? Dude, I don't even know what to say. Holy shit.
After his arrest, Tate posted a picture on Instagram showing him smoking a cigar in a staged interrogation room as, quote, police officers loomed over him. Tate added the caption, "Officer, I think we can all agree that love to lie." But before we continue, I do want to point out that him being arrested under the allegations that he has been human trafficking actually doesn't have to do with the website itself, although I think they are investigating that because according to him, they took all of his computers and other devices.
Took the emergency meeting computer. They took all the cameras. Christina won't have anything to steady moving.
Whatever this circumstance was seems a little bit muddy right now because Andrew Tate has actually made a video responding to this.
So I think I want to clear a few things up because there's some bullshit on the internet about why the police raided my house. So I'm going to clear it up with an official statement here.
Wait, so a really quick question. I might have just like missed this, or this might just be my ignorance. Is he currently living in Romania when he got arrested? Is that what happened? Like, or is he in another country right now? Because he went on like a whole tear about how he's like, oh, I gotta go to Romania, it's so much better, blah blah blah, and like all this whole other thing. So is he in Romania right now, or what's happening? Yes, he's in Romania. Okay, interesting.
The gutted out emergency meeting podcast. Some whoopee.
So he got arrested. He's getting investigated in Romania. Wow, he must be if that's the state of if that's the state of rape culture, then if that state or that country allows, you know, doesn't give a shit about sexual assault, and that's the reason he moved there and they arrested him for it, there must be something quite intense going on.
Was chilling with T, they made love, and then Tristan stopped replying to her texts. Why? Because it's Tristan. She's from, I don't know where she's from. some other country. I don't know where she's from. She's not Romanian. And after they slept together, he ignored her one day. Hey, let's go out for dinner. Ignored her, kept ignoring her. Then turns out she has a boyfriend. So the boyfriend found out she was with Tristan. So now she's in a hard situation, right? Because she doesn't want to admit to her boyfriend she's been cheating with the guy who now ignores her completely. So she says, oh, yeah, but I was with him, but I didn't want to be. I was at their house and I couldn't leave. Even though all of our CCTV, which the police now have, prove that she came by Uber and left by Uber, and there's text messages of her begging to come back, but Tristan wouldn't let her. So then her boyfriend calls the embassy and calls the police from France or whatever country she's from, and they instigate this high-level police SWAT raid for kidnapping, and they come into my house. Sorry, Tate, sorry, we're sorry, it's from the embassy. Because if it was actually Romanian stuff, the police wouldn't even come.
While this guy is extremely...
I mean, this is a person who felt comfortable, I don't know, seemingly admitting that he's grooming girls in some capacity. Like I don't know, I mean, which is a difficult thing to do considering they're adults. It's very difficult to do that. So why would we? I just don't. He has no. I just doubt it. I doubt anything that he's saying. I just don't believe it. It could be true. They're saying sorry, Tate. This guy's being investigated for sexual assault, for human trafficking, and they're telling him I'm sorry. That's what a shitload of fuck, bro. Like what? That's fucking insane to me. Why? That's just ridiculous. Why would they do that? That's so stupid. What a scum. I mean, what? Sorry, but what a shitty country. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Smug, and I genuinely do not agree with him on the points he makes about women. I kind of agree with the idea that he probably, likely, is not going to receive any type of severe consequence from this because of his influence and also the amount of money he had. I really don't know how Romanian law works, but I do know that this man has stated that he wants to stay in Romania.
People say, why live in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a racist. I say, no, I'm not fucking racist. But I like the idea of being able to just say to do what I want. I like being free.
There's also a video clip that I am trying my hardest to find. He's basically discussing in a video clip how women's self-defense is useless, and he also describes what he would do if a woman was defending herself against him.
Female self-defense is bullshit. I watched some video on Twitter the other day, some stupid asshole. I'm doing this and it's this. Listen, women can't fight. You're not designed to fight. You're incapable of fighting, and you're incapable of handling genuine violence. Every single time I see a clip of some chick in some self-defense fight bullshit, it annoys me because they always underestimate and they don't train for the reality of violence. If a man grabs you, you knee him in the balls and run away. You knee him in the balls, all you do is get pissed off. I'm like,
it's so weird that like women are so responsible. Oh, women fighting is so stupid. You're a dumb woman. It's like, yeah, God forbid women try to do their best to not get fucking raped by men like you. It's crazy. Why is that on them? It's insane that the central focus is like, yeah, women are too dumb and stupid to fucking fight, so they shouldn't be. Like, what is happening here? I'm actually gonna sell that. Okay. I think the audio is intentionally warped by the creator so that it doesn't like potentially get DMCA. So.
Let me say something else that females fucking fail to realize. Men are bigger than women. I'm like 100 and something kilo. Women aren't as big as me. I'm like a 55 kilo female. I will pick you up with one hand, body slam your ass, and when I'm standing I'll talk to you, and you're like, and I'll grab you by your neck, and you're more, I learned self-defense. They grab me by my neck. What I do is, I get my finger in to this gap. You know what I didn't teach you in self-defense? Here's a little move. When I grab you by your neck, and you start annoying me trying to resist, and I go, then what the fuck are you doing? Your face is collapsed, and your fucking cheekbone's broken, and you do shit but cry.
He's showing to the world how shitty of a person he is and what he would do, and this isn't the first time he has insinuated hitting a woman like that, but he also does this cute thing.
Shut the f up. You know, women know the clue how business works. That wouldn't ever work.
Like, wow, that is so funny, dude.
There's a reason I don't start these stupid businesses for bitches, because I'd lose my temper with one of them. I'd set the whole place on fire.
What? And also, there are accusations made against him regarding a show called Big Brother. He was allegedly removed from that show for hitting a woman, but I do believe he's denying that. Anyway, this person who is an ex-boxer is explaining how he would harm a woman if
an ex-boxer with anger problems. A boxer with anger problems, guys. Who would have thought? Who would have thought about that? Interesting.
When she attempted to do self-defense. In a way, I see where he's coming from with the idea that the person who wants to harm someone is going to do what they can to succeed in their goals because they're a shitty person and want to harm people. But my point is, I don't know if he's putting himself in that mindset for the sake of the argument or if he's already in that mindset because he seems very comfortable explaining all.
We'll say one thing. This video is she's very charitable to him. I mean, like, and I don't mean like she's withholding information. All the information she's giving us, but the perspective here is very charitable. It's not. I'm not criticizing her. It's just very interesting. I personally wouldn't be so charitable. I'm obviously not being so.
All of this, he also doesn't seem to show or display any type of solution to this. He doesn't explain to women, you should do this self-defense instead of this, you should do X, Y, and Z instead of this. And if he's an ex-boxer, I think that there is a lot of potential for him to maybe make a course on women's self-defense. They could make a women's self-defense class, and he could probably make...
Well, why would he want to do that? Then his friends wouldn't be able to rape women. I mean, you know, you gotta help the homies out, you know?
money.
Hey, can't get a girl because you're a fucking disgusting loser scumbag incel? Just rape a girl. It's tee, you know, that's pretty much it.
But oh wait, yeah, I forgot. Anytime the words making money and women come into play, it doesn't work out unless he's using them for OnlyFans. I'm just so genuinely lost on this situation. I don't understand because I have seen comments of people talking about like, Tate's the man, Tate's so funny. I don't know if people perceive this as a parody or if this is some sort of troll that's going well over my head. I genuinely don't think that this person's trolling, considering how much effort that is put into these websites, making money from this, also connecting with other podcasts. Andrew Tate is such a high-value man that he is too afraid to give another man CPR.
If you're some fat dude and you just had a heart attack and I don't really know you, you're gonna die. I mean, if you're a really good friend, no, not even if you're a friend, if you're my friend, you just can't be a pussy. Well, I had a heart attack. Get the fuck up. What's wrong with you? Go to the hospital later. Have a drink. Cigarette. Cup of coffee. Back in the game. Fucking having a heart attack near me, you little pussy. None of my friends would even have those kind of problems because I don't roll with fucking little bitches. But if you're some dude I don't know and you need CPR and everyone's looking at me, who knows CPR? Well, me. Help him! No.
So before we wrap up this video, I wanted to end things on a much lighter note. Speaking of the Fresh and Fit podcast, something really hilarious has happened recently, and I want to update you all on it. There's another podcast called the Kyle and Jackie O podcast, and they invited Myron from Fresh and Fit to come on.
Okay, well, I remember that, and they clowned on him. It was very funny.
And have a discussion. There is now a very infamous clip where things did not go very well for Myron. Before we get to that though, I want to show a different clip where the staff of the Kyle and Jackie O podcast explained their treatment from Myron before even getting him on the show.
Mayo was trying to get him on the show. You had a lot of problems too. He wouldn't even talk to you. You had to put a male on there. Pedro had to jump in and secure the interview.
He refused to talk to me. Didn't even want to do the interview. Then Pedro had to come on and save it by saying, yeah, she's shit. Sorry about her. Come on and we'll fix it.
We played him.
Yeah, that's right. You played
Mayo was on the call, listening to it all.
Mayo was listening to you shit turn herself and trick this guy on.
Oh my God.
Genius.
Myron allegedly wouldn't even speak to a woman on the phone to organize this event. She had to get a man on the phone for him to talk to because he just refused to speak to her. Why are you so afraid to hear women speak, dude? Are you scared they might make your entire arguments crumble and make you look like an idiot? Anyway, he does make it onto the show and he does have a conversation, and this is how it goes.
You're actually saying that in a relationship, it's okay for men to go and explore other options, but we have to be happy with you and not explore options.
Absolutely. Closed on your end, open on my end, and I think there should be honest between the two.
Why? Why would anyone agree to that?
You can't just go throwing that thing around.
But that's the thing, is that like that's the thing, is that most women won't agree to that. Listen, if you set a relationship boundary that says, hey, I'm a man and I'm gonna date whoever I want, and you're not, and she agrees to that, you know, without any threat on her person, do your thing. Well, who cares? Who gives a shit? But like the fact that I mean, this seems to be the situation where it's like, there's a weird advocation for men to be like, yeah, just cheat. Like, no big deal, brothers. You know, it's crazy.
I spoke to Dan Balserian. Yeah, I'm sick of you asking to finish your long, boring answers that are the same answer every time we ask you a question. Even Dan Balserian last week told me to my face, so fucking what, clown? Here you are on the show. I can turn you off as well. Just turn these clowns off. See you fellas. Grow up. Bring us back when you're 30 and you've got half a brain. You're not running around being led by your own dicks. Bye-bye. See you later. Turn them off.
To me, it's just really funny seeing the...
It's funny because Fresh and Fit probably just posed that as like, oh, we triggered this guy so much because we're alpha men, but you know, like that's one of the problems. Is like dude, it's one of those things where like, okay, so I think that both of them are very problematic, but when you do that kind of stuff, you just like justify his point. It's like, see, they couldn't even let me talk because I'm a high value man, and they can't counter my logic. Like they can't counter my logic. So like they just rush me off, and that makes him look good. So they brought him on, seeming from what it seems like to me, to get like kind of a virtuous win. Be like, look, see, we got him. It's like a virtuous win. But it just, I don't know, it just ends up looking, I think it ends up kind of looking bad. It ends up kind of just like strengthening his point and his perspective to his audience and allowing him, and then he gets to like, look, this guy, it's just, that's usually why you wouldn't have that conversation in that way. Because you're not actually changing his mind, they're just melting down, or not even changing his mind. You want to, if you really want to embarrass him, you just have to like poke holes in his his logical consistency. But you know, I guess it gets the views. So
Fresh and Fit podcast hosts interact with people who aren't immediate yes men and are bending over to kiss their ass over every little thing they say because they respond like
because like
this.
you made that content for your audience, like you know, they're like, oh look, we got him on here just to embarrass him, haha, we did it, we win, we're better than him, and it's like. But did you really do that, or did you like? You're just making your audience feel good, but you're not like, I don't know. For me, you want the outcome for people to not be on their side, but that's what's just going to happen from that perspective. It's just going to give you another example for them.
They get so bent out of shape. Well, you're not even letting me talk.
Myron didn't let them talk. What? Because every time they started, he would stop them. Oh, is that what was happening? Would he constantly stop them when he was talking? Did you watch the thing?
Not even let me talk. Every time they do speak, they end up talking people in circles. It's so embarrassing that I think they're afraid to have a conversation with anybody who isn't an immediate yes man. Seems pretty nice to finally see him getting a taste of his own medicine, because this is what he constantly does on his podcast when other women try to speak at all.
You're 35?
No, I'm saying I'll probably have a kid when I'm 35.
Ooh,
but right now,
that's risky.
I'm 23.
You know, at 35, your ability to bring a child to term is like significantly decreased.
But
right? Like,
see, and if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen.
But in general, carrying a child is risky. Like in general, girls lose their memory, girls lose hair, girls get diabetes, heart failure.
So if you know that it's dangerous to carry a child in general, wouldn't you want to do it when you're at your peak fertility, so it's not going to fuck you up long term?
Just always gets so hard to wrap my head around.
I guess that's an argument, but like, why does everybody have to operate in the perfect capacity? Because that's what you're saying. Well, shouldn't you operate perfectly? So I can make the same argument to him. It's like, well, then you should have a kid younger. It's like, well, it doesn't change the outcome of the baby. No, but if you're older, or if you're younger, you have the ability to have the energy to help take care of your kids. So like, you can make this argument of like, what is the ideal way to operate in society? And now everybody should operate in the most ideal way in society, which is just like ridiculous.
People like this actually existing, people actually thinking that women are legitimately property and have no value in life.
Well, that part's true. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
For them to be a body, for them to, how do I say this in an ad-friendly way? They treat women like sheets for their meat swords. I'll put it like that. I want to end this video off with something that isn't related to the Fresh and Fit podcast or Andrew Tate, but
women are just wiener stickers, bro. You stick your wiener in there. That's all it is. That's all it's about, brother. That's all it's always been about. Okay, dude? Women are stupid.
Is from a self-proclaimed alpha male, which is a Twitter thread as to why women shouldn't ride horses.
You're really throwing as much as you can in here. Jesus. I got to cover that. Or I was going to cover that. And then I keep forgetting. It's like sitting in my thing to cover, but I keep forgetting about it.
Bikes or bicycles. I mean, that's a little redundant, but okay. I will post links with evidence at the very end. I write this as another red pill of female nature that husbands and fathers must swallow for the betterment of their marriages and society. I care for my fellow brethren. It is the very reason that this account exists. This is by design. God created women for men. Their bodies are to be enjoyed by their husbands.
True.
Every part of having been created. Is this real? Is this a troll? Every part of this having been created for his enjoyment. Her body being sexual at every inch means men can be aroused by and enjoy any or all parts of his wife's body. This has got to be a joke. Wow. Further evidence of this is women's ability to have multiple orgasms in a short amount of time. Women can also be fully satisfied without an orgasm, which means a man can play and have sex with his wife for any length of time, be it 5 minutes or an hour.
Just
laugh at him now. The point is, women are easily stimulated and aroused, though, through almost any part of their body. They should be careful of what they do or in what activities they should take part. My belief is that a woman should stay as pure, innocent, clean, and modest as possible with regards to their bodies. They must protect and not spoil it in any way for their future or current husband. And stimulation, not for or from her husband, makes a woman filthy. Okay, I'm done.
You know, I will say, if you're the kind of woman who just wants to be a piece of arm candy, that logic probably holds up for you specifically. Like, if you're somebody who's like, you know, trying to be, you know, a good, I guess, just like a person, it's whatever. But if you're a woman that just wants to be some guy's arm candy, then like, yeah, you probably should listen to that advice. I'm just saying. I mean, it would make sense from that perspective, because that's the field that you're putting yourself in. It's like, yeah, I just want to be arm candy for a guy, blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, you know, you kind of probably want to interact in a certain way then, you know what I'm saying?
But bringing this back, I guess we're not ending this on a positive note because my conclusion is very dark on this. This entire situation has gone from making memes about these people who genuinely think like this. A lot of people have gone well beyond the lengths to share how ridiculous it is that people think this way. But I think we're starting to get to a point where this is really serious because, as you can see, this is getting into a dangerous territory of, are the women that these people surround themselves with in a safe environment? This dude got arrested for trafficking, allegedly. And while he claims that these are...
Well, I think he did get arrested for trafficking, I think. It's alleged that the trafficking is alleged, though, right? I think that's what they're trying to say.
Lies. The fact of the matter is he still got arrested. He admits that he did get arrested. And even if he wants to say that the police apologized to him when they had to arrest him, that's a big claim. And not only that, but I'm clearly not the only one who thought that this was already kind of going on because of what has been displayed on his War Room website. And this is backed up even more with the fact that over the past few months, after he has been called out more and more for this, more and more has gone missing on that website. There's been a lot of changes and a lot of things that are no longer there that were up when this website was first launched and announced. Manipulating people to fall in love with you and making them do anything
a house husband? Very good.
Say, which happens to be posting on adult websites to make you money. That to me doesn't sound like the most ethical thing. That to me sounds...
That to me doesn't... It's not even that it doesn't sound ethical. That just sounds like a really nice way of saying that I like meet girls and put them in a situation where they like have to do what I want for them to do. That's what it sounds like to me more than anything else. Like what he's saying isn't like, yeah, if you could, I find a girl and then like she loves me so much she'll do whatever I want. Right, because most men want that generally. So like, I want my wife to do whatever I want, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I want my, you want like a supportive person. That's how most people interpret that. To him, it just seems like he wants to be able to manipulate girls into selling like their bodies and shit. It's like, yeah, man. I mean, it doesn't sound like an accurate presentation of what he's actually doing.
Sounds like that can fall under the guise of trafficking. Like I said, I don't know how the laws in Romania work. I don't know if things like this are legal there, but I feel like in the United States, stuff like this would be a lot.
Well, I think it's a really big red flag that he moved there because he doesn't like that we're talking more about like rape culture. So like that's a huge red flag to me.
Harder to go without investigation of some sort. And I think he himself would agree with that because he talks so much about how he prefers to be in Romania over the West because Western laws and society would be tearing him apart. Thank you so much if you've made it all the way to the end of this video. I know this video wasn't the one I was planning to have out this week, but I really found that this was important to talk about because... Oh god, there's a moth. I got scared. I'm sorry. I think it's really... I think it's
go greedy.
There's like this moth that's flying around and it's coming at the worst point because it's like this is a serious part of the video. The moth is coming. This is a serious part. Shit. Go away. I think this is a really important thing to be discussing because this goes from being a meme, being a cringy TikTok to being something that could potentially be really serious. This is like an international situation. This isn't like something that is going on in the United States. If there's actually an investigation going on, I hope they actually do a thorough investigation and a investigation that isn't going to be biased for are investigations biased in other countries? I don't know. But the way he's talking about it...
Well, yeah, the way he's talking about it sounds like it's going to be. So, yeah, it's unfortunate.
Makes it seem like he can get away with anything. But I sincerely hope that that is not the case and that this is actually thoroughly investigated regardless of this person's status and wealth. And I genuinely hope that if something is truly going on, there's consequence for it and something is done about it because this appears to be very scary and unsettling. Thank you so much to everybody who has been supporting me over on Patreon, especially Lewis, Miss Denisha, Anthony, Tressout, Michelle, and Beamer WN. I greatly appreciate it. With that being said, I will see you in the next video, hopefully without the topic of human trafficking.
All right, very good video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down in the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.